Good night, everyone. I'm upset you didn't vote for me. I hope next time you choose. Well, it's soon. Well, good night. It's a pleasure coming to this great and pride company of Nuevo León, Alpha. Thank you, Alvaro, for the invitation. And I really hope you're having a good time. I will take no more than 20 minutes to present what Nuevo León means to Mexico and to the world. And please, Ivan, join me because then you can help me with the specifics. Well, first of all, we're very proud to state that Nuevo León is the best place to invest. It has been for many time, but mostly in the last 2 years, Nuevo León is winning every economic aspect of America Latina. One of the causes is our strategic location. We're neighbors to Texas. As you can see, we are only 150 miles from the border. We have a border, and we are 2 hours in car to the US. We are very well connected. It's said that Nuevo León is, when I talk about Nuevo León or Monterrey, it's the same. We have a metropolitan area that has 92% of our people, so most of the times we talk the same level, Monterrey and Nuevo León. Nuevo León is very well connected. We have now more international flights than domestic. We just opened 12 new flights to San Francisco, Salt Lake City, Denver, Chicago, Atlanta, Miami, Orlando, Dallas, and I'm missing Vancouver. It's coming soon. I live 6 months in West Vancouver, so that's why I love Canada. And also Toronto, right? Okay, so very well connected. And we have more international than national because I have to add also Madrid. We have a daily flight to Madrid that connects to Europe. Today, we are making a new airport. We are tripling the one we have, Mariano Escobedo. It's getting much more flights. And we're trying to get in 3 years the subway from all the city to get and connect to this international airport. And also, we're very blessed that we're connected to the 2 most used highways in the US, from south to north, I-35, and from west to east, I-10. Let me show you some international statistics from the International Development Bank. What they show is that Mexico is the great winner of nearshoring. If you see, Mexico alone is having more than half of the nearshoring process in the world. We were talking about unfortunate Ukraine war, US-China commercial war, but we were lucky because now we're getting most of these companies coming into Mexico. So Mexico is the big winner. And from Mexico, Nuevo León is the big winner of the nearshoring. 76% of land for new factories, for gigafactories, one state alone is getting 3/4 of all this investment. So if we make a simple arithmetic equation, Nuevo León of the complete America Latin market is getting around 50%. That's how big Nuevo León is growing, and every time it goes exponentially bigger. And that's what we're going to try to show. Well, we have done a new constitution that is very important for building the pillars of Nuevo León. With civil society, we have planned. Our guide is a 2040 strategic plan. Here we have the economic president of the commission that represents another big company of Mexico, and US also, Signos. You're now in US also, right? And we have 8 master plans to have a big, huge infrastructure in mobility, in security, in water, education, childhood, air quality, social plan, and culture. We have been flying a lot outside of Nuevo León to talk about Nuevo León, to bring investment. We have been in Europe, in Asia. We're going to Asia again, Japan and China in 1 week. And now we are showing off our border that was subutilized for many years. The federal government just gave us again the concession for another 60 years until 2070, 2080. And this border have got a lot of investment, is now the most efficient, the quickest, the safest, and the second place in revenue just after Laredo, which is the most used border in the world. And I would like to take 5 minutes with this border because being the safest, the US authorities, ICE, CBP, Borders and Customs, they have allowed Nuevo León to make a pre-clearance. We call it a freight. What was the name we just announced? Freight City. So the US certifies that it is an Nuevo León certified company, and all of its providers, suppliers, they can use a specific lane and cross without revision in Mexico, only witnessing the US revision. So with this process, this cargo of Freight City, you are crossing in 5 minutes, while our Freight City Pass, that's the new invention of the secretary. So you can see that we're only making one process instead of the doubling revision that we have in most of the borders. And this border is also very important because it goes to Laredo, Texas, but without entering the traffic in the city of Laredo. So most of the exports that are not going with destiny to Laredo, they are now using Colombia all the way up to Toronto, Ottawa, Oklahoma, etc. Well, also, very important, in these 2 years, we have built 6 new highways, all of them very forward to push up the cargo to the US. Here we have the Aduana Colombia in the front. And then we have these 6 new highways. We already finished 3. This December, we're gonna finish a straight highway that is from Monterrey to Aduana Colombia without crossing to Tamaulipas or to Coahuila. So armoring our state and being a safe state, now you can pursue that your merchandise, your services are gonna cross directly, very fast, very secure. And with this highway, we're calculating that we will double the freights of our state, that today we're crossing around 5,000 cargos per day. We can go up to 12,000 cargos with this new highway. And well, let me now show you that our most valuable asset is the talent of our people. We have a lot of youth people. The average age of Nuevo León is 29 years old. We're graduating 50,000 technicians per day that may want to work now in all of these new technologies, electromobility factories, etc. So if you want to invest and put your gigafactory like Tesla here in Nuevo León, there's no doubt you will have the most qualified human labor of all Mexico. The best universities, let me start by UDEM. I will not mention the other ones, but with UDEM is the perfect example about the huge, excellent, and very qualified universities that create a shelter, a student hub here in Monterrey. And that's why we are showing off every time we can that Nuevo León is the best place to invest, safe, a lot of opportunities, human labor. We're now, can I continue? Well, for you to imagine, 2 years ago, the last government, and I will not enter in politics, in 2021, the government of Nuevo León, they made a record in foreign investment. And it was a country record. And they got $3.6 billion. This was a humongous party we made because we were very proud. This year, we're closing with $37 billion, 10 times the foreign investment of 2 years ago. And obviously, this is breaking every record. We're doubling the new jobs. We will have 250,000 new jobs. And every year, we're getting more separated from the second and third place as we go on. We will have, for many reasons, the most formality of the country. Nuevo León is the state that has the most formality, the most taxes, revenue, and obviously the best companies of Mexico. Number one in exports. And now we're trying to get this philosophy of opening 2 or 3 companies per week. That's why we're making more than 140 industrial parks and warehousing, but not any company. We're bringing the best companies in their sectors, the most known Tesla, but also Kia, that was already established here. It's doubling its size. It's also making 2 electric vehicles here in Nuevo León. We brought Tata Consultant Services, Quanta Computers that make the iPads, the laptops, the computers of Tesla, Bosch, Infosys, Siemens, Foxconn, Alpha, and our home companies. They are also making expansions and investing because they are getting a bit of this big cake of the nearshoring process also. And here we have examples of another kind of companies in many sectors. And there are special cases that we can show that, for example, Lego, Ternium, Tesla, Mattel, Mondelez, and others, they are constructing their biggest factories worldwide here in Monterrey and bringing corporative and office here to San Pedro. So that's only an example of how these big companies are trusting that for the next 20 or maybe 10, 15, 20, I hope the most years, we're going to have these huge investments in Nuevo León. Sorry, I tell 140 is 240 new industrial parks, some of them now in Colombia, because Colombia, thank God, is a virgin land. We don't have housing there. That's why it's very safe. We don't have migration, drugs, smuggling issues. It's a full hub for cargo, and anyone that wants their warehouse for connecting on transfer, you will have a special place in Colombia. And well, now Tesla, they just announced it on Monday that they are starting the Gigafactory. In the picture, this one is now small compared to the one they just designed. The factory that they're constructing is doubling the one Elon Musk showed on March. And also we're trying to get this Silicon Valley of Mexico. We already received here in Monterrey 7 of the 10 biggest technological companies worldwide to have this new technological hub in Nuevo León. This is our pit where we share and give big companies a place for making their labs and their incubadoras, we call them here in Nuevo León. And now the worldwide news is that Nuevo León is becoming an electromobility hub with Kia, with Hyundai, with Tesla. Next week, we're also bringing Chirei from China. We will have 5 companies making electric cars, electric buses, and around 70 suppliers, Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. Let me close by summarizing that for all of these reasons, Nuevo León is nowadays the best place to invest in America Latina. And I'm really convinced, we were talking about NAFTA. I was a senator when we signed it for another 16 years, and they can be doable for 30. So if we really take advantage of NAFTA and we see us as a region, as North America, obviously Nuevo León being the epicenter of North America, we will have to make much more infrastructure and much more investment because this is going to be small for the potential the economy of North America can make in these 3 countries. So welcome to Nuevo León. Have a nice dinner. Thank you, Alvaro, for the invitation.